Um, I remember the very first meeting that we all sat down, and we had a gentleman come over here that ran a company that worked with people on rebranding and refocusing, and split us up into a bunch of groups. And he was like, I want everybody thinking right now,
Yeah.
and you just got to really dig deep and think. And the ideas that came out of those, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 breakout groups were phenomenal. And I remember these 3 words kind of rose to the top after that whole. Those 3 words came from all of us think tank working together to come up with descriptive words. And we weren't even told 3 words. We were just told come up with ideas. So assemble, move, and coat came together. Now, me, coming from a long line of, or a long history in the coating side, I completely understood what that was. So, and I do understand the others, but I'll let you describe what they are.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we did during that time, part of that rebrand, which I think was, I would say this, it probably would have taken, it could have taken a lot less time if that group were much, much smaller.
Yes.
Right? But I don't know that we would have had the level of buy-in and input and ideas that came through that. So yes, it took us a little bit longer to do it that way, but I think the output was much better and it was much stronger, and I think there was a lot more buy-in from people that had a part of it. So, being able to sort of break those groups out, and we intentionally broke that out to have really representation from every functional group within the company. Right, so whether your sales or your marketing, your shipping, receiving, your service department, project management, whatever it is,
cross-pollination.
Yeah, because the idea was, what is their power to you? And there was a lot more than that. But obviously, what does it mean to our customers? What do we what do we say to our customers? What do our customers feel? And so where Assemble, Move, Coat came out, to your point, like where this rebrand idea started, right? We went through a logo change, and it was never really about the logo. It was really about the story, right? The brand, and what does it say to your customer? And the way that started, excuse me, quite honestly, was we've got some pretty expansive lab capabilities here in High Point. We also have in Chattanooga. We also do in Greenville, and we've got these places set up that we call centers of excellence, right? So High Point certainly is a center of excellence, and we bring customers in here for runoffs, and undoubtedly, at least the first year that I was here, every time a customer would come in here, they would always say, wow, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you did that. And so my initial question to the account manager was like, well, isn't that your job to make sure that the customer knows what we do? But at the same time, I took a step back and said, hey, if you can't articulate that well to the customer, we're probably not giving you a good story to tell. And that's really where the rebrand started. And so we went from talking internally about finishing and applied fluids and tool and assembly solutions to customer processes, right? What do these manufacturers do, and what does the equipment, right, that we sell and also create solutions for do in the marketplace? So it really became more of a customer-focused process discussion. So, if you assemble, as generic as it sounds, right, if you assemble stuff, if you move stuff, or if you coat stuff, like, we can help you. And so when you look in each one of those buckets, you talk about assembly, and it's putting stuff together, and that might be, putting stuff together with some fasteners, right? It might be putting stuff together with structural adhesives, right? So if you screw it together or if you glue it together, right, we can help you. We've got equipment that can help do that. When you talk about moving, you really talk about liquid, but you also talk about solid. So it's really about getting something from point A to point B. That could be on a conveyor. It could be on a manipulator. It could be a pump, right? It could be a circulation
ergonomic
system.
lifting.
Right. All of those things when we talk about move. And then obviously coat, it's I think Neil Cutler actually put a really good description on our company video about, you protect or beautify, right? So whether it's a liquid application or it's a powder application, whether it's pre-treatment of that, whether it's post-treatment, right? Whether it's curing of it, all of that surrounds that coating process. And so we think it just, not to say make for a good story, it resonates with customers, right? You can easily talk about what it is that we do, and that's actually by design. One of the things that we did, I remember talking through this process, is and Cabrina's a great example because she was relatively new still, or Cabrina and Amanda both in the marketing, and they didn't know nearly the depth of what we did, right? So you start asking somebody who doesn't necessarily know who we are and what we do about how you describe this, and now you get to a story that you can tell that anybody can understand, right?
Correct.
So that's where the assemble, move, and coat came from.
The interesting thing is that these really complement each other, because you can lead into a company. A lot of times we'll talk about leading in, we might lead in with a vendor, but we might lead in with somebody who needs a product. We're going in with something in the coatings realm. So you can lead in with the coatings realm. The lead might come into Air Power because they found out that we sell booths or ovens or powder coating equipment. And then once the account manager goes in, 99 times out of 100, they're going to have opportunities here and here. Assemble and move. Now all of a sudden there's a lot of opportunities. You talk about a lot of the manufacturers that we deal with. Most of them are not making a widget that goes somewhere else. Most of them are making something, but they're taking a lot of parts, moving pieces, and they're putting them through their processes, and then they're assembling them.
Right.
And then the final thing a lot of times is the coat process or whatever. Or final might not be coat, final might be assembly. And then you have your finished product. So you go in there wanting to sell them a booth or a lead for a Gema powder gun, and you're walking out with 200 DA sanders and impact.
Right. Yep.
So it's interesting to see how those cross over.
Yep, that's the idea. That's the idea. And I think it resonates with customers. And to your point, I'm not saying there aren't customers who only do one of those things, because there are customers. We have customers that only do sort of one of those things.
True.
But seldom do you find customers. And the bulk of our customers are doing multiple processes within
You find out a lot of material handling where they're just taking this and they're sending it there, or they're moving it. And so you have to have specialized moving devices to go from one to the other, and lifts. And see, that's terminology that you live and breathe. You understand that,
right?
And, we'll just call you preacher.